If you are one of those fans who absolutely loves international football ahead of club football, which is probably only a few of you, well, there's good news. The new UEFA League of Nations kicks off this week, and with it, a player is ready to burst onto or return to the international scene. The likes of Leroy Sane are back in the German squad after missing out over the World Cup. However, here I'll be taking you through 5 players who are a little less known on the international scene than Manchester City's wonder kid. Just for clarification, the players on this list have never made an international appearance for their nation's first team or have played less than 5 competitive games, making them relatively unknown. First off, we have the son of a former legend, which gives him that little bit of added pressure before he even steps onto the pitch. With Holland failing to qualify for the World Cup this summer, Justin Kluivert had time to mull over his future with Father Patrick and decided that after a few years at Ajax, he would move on to Roma in Italy. Smashing in 10 goals in 30 Eredivisie appearances last season with incredible speed, trickery and flair saw him on the radar of many of Europe's top clubs. However, for the Dutch national team, they were already well aware of his capabilities, having seen him rise from the under-15s to the under-21s in the national setup. So with this in mind and his incredible form at Ajax, it was no surprise to see him make his debut for the full team in a 3-0 victory away to Portugal, even though he only did get 12 minutes at the end of the game. So with this, we saw the passing of the torch from not only father to son, but from potentially generation to generation. Dutch football has been on the decline in recent years, and the likes of the retiring Robin van Persie, Arjen Robben, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, Rafael van der Vaart and Wesley Sneijder, it doesn't exactly help the cause, but in their place are some young exciting talents emerging. The likes of Justin Kluivert has been joined by Matthijs de Ligt and Tony Vilhena, which is a promising sign for Holland, along with another youngster who we'll get onto in just a few minutes. With these guys getting experience in the qualifiers over the next few years, we could see a new Dutch side take to the field in Euro 2020. But aside from Holland, another team in need of a fresh start is Italy, who failed to qualify for the World Cup this summer for the first time in 60 years. It could have been one final hurrah for the likes of Gigi Buffon, Daniele De Rossi and Andrea Barzagli, but with defeat to Sweden in the last qualifier, the dreams of millions of fans around Italy were crushed. So now they look to potential stars for the future to carry them in the next few years, one of whom has a particular family legacy to continue, that the son of Federico Chiesa. The son of former Parma and Italy legend, Federico has been earning his stripes in Fiorentina and has made a handful of appearances for the Italian national team. It's there he has to battle alongside the likes of Insigne, Bernardeschi and Berardi for a starting spot, but if he does, you'll see exactly why the Italians rate him so highly. And his talents haven't gone unnoticed in club football either. A fantastic season last year for Fiorentina saw the likes of Manchester United and Liverpool linked with a £62 million move for the star. But once those transfer rumours faded, another one took their place, and in the last few weeks Juventus apparently agreed a deal to get first dibs on signing him should another big club come in for him. That basically means if United or Liverpool did make an offer, Fiorentina will call up Juventus and give them first option to talk to him should they want to sign him. But moving on, we have yet another Dutch player on this list and yet another player from Ajax. Despite actually coming through the youth system at Willem II and only making one appearance at the age of 18, Frankie De Young then moved on to Ajax's youth teams before bursting onto the scene last season in his breakthrough year. He helped Ajax finish second in the Eredivisie and in the last few weeks has helped them along to Champions League group stage qualification. But if you don't watch much Dutch football and you don't want to take my word for it, take the interest from Barcelona all summer and that should go some way to convincing you that he is the real deal. 3 bids of around £30 to £40 million were placed from the Camp Nou. However, despite Ajax rejecting those offers, De Jong has said himself that one day he would love to become a Barcelona player. That just won't be this season. A call up to the Dutch first team is no surprise as he's been with the setup since the age of 15. And don't be surprised if he also gets a few minutes to showcase his skills against the likes of Peru and France in the upcoming games. Now we move on to home soil with the only Englishman in this list. However, with Gareth Southgate in charge of the 3 Lions, be sure that a load of youngsters will get their chance in the next few years to come. Despite having a great breakthrough season at Liverpool last year and making his international debut, Joe Gomez unfortunately picked up an injury towards the end of the campaign, which meant that he missed out on the 23-man squad to go to Russia. He's had a fantastic start to the season and Liverpool have picked up 4 wins out of 4. He's also kept Dejan Lovren out of the side, the self-proclaimed best defender in the world. But jokes aside, Lovren was actually a World Cup runner-up this summer, and so Joe Gomez has done well to keep him out the side with incredible athleticism, composure and passing on the ball. As for the English team as a whole, well, Gomez's teammate Trent Alexander-Arnold and Chelsea midfielder Ruben Loftus-Cheek represent a bright future for England, and those two getting good experience over the summer in the World Cup will only help the Three Lions moving forwards. And lastly, we have a player joining a side which conjured up much controversy before the World Cup had even begun. You all know what happened to Spain manager Julen Lopetegui. He left the national side the day before the competition started, so despite the best efforts of the squad, they were never going to really be able to go that far, even with Fernando Hierro in charge. But since that catastrophe, former Barcelona manager and new Spain boss Luis Enrique has come in and completely shaken up the side. His hand was partially played by the fact that Piqué, David Silva and Andres Iniesta were all retired, but he's made the bold move of leaving out Koke and Jordi Alba for the Nations League qualifiers. This means that the left-back spot will be changing potentially for the first time since 7 years ago when Alba first stepped into the squad, and the replacement, Valencia's Jose Gaia. Part of the side that has been revitalised under new manager Marcelinho, Gaia now gets to test himself on the international stage as well as on the Champions League stage, as Valencia have been drawn alongside the likes of Manchester United and Juventus. Be sure to look out for his blistering pace down the left wing, and also he's good for an assist or two over the course of the season. He's much like Alba in many senses in the left back spot, and they both actually came through at Valencia, so don't be surprised to see Gaia be the long-term replacement for Alba at left back. So there you have it, 5 players who may not be necessarily known on the international stage just yet. However, given a few years and a few more games to get some experience, we could be looking at 5 of the top players come Euro 2020. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below which of these players you rate and which of them you think will flop and move into obscurity within the next few seasons. Let me know in the comment section below, smash the like button, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.